attempting?
I was pulling out of a junction onto a carriageway, but then I saw a car, so I stopped, and she drove into the back of me.
Basically, 2 driving tests in convoy, as it were.
Yeah, well, you do the same route from the same driving school, don't you? When you go to get your exam.
Did you fail your test, John?
We both had to have our tests annulled because of the accident.
Annulled?
That usually involves the Pope, doesn't it?
When was this, John?
I just had to renew my licence, so 11 years ago.
11 years ago, OK. Kathy hasn't changed the number in 11 years.
She described it as weird, what had happened, and I remember thinking it wasn't weird. You hit me. So she said we should keep numbers, jokingly, and said, so that we don't get our test on the same day next time. Lol.
Yeah. Did people say lol 11 years ago?
Yeah, it was just coming in then. Right. Before we even knew you could write it down.
Yeah. Sarah, why did you... what's the story here? What?
A disinterested policeman.
I think you mean uninterested policeman. All good policemen are disinterested.
Yes, good point.
Not an amusing point.
But grammatically, an absolute belter.
Yeah.
What's the difference between what does disinterested
Disinterested
mean?
means impartial. Uninterested means bored.
I don't know which one the audience are.
So, please continue.
So, Sarah, you fooled the newspapers about a hypnotist at a hen party.
Fooled the newspapers into reporting that she had fallen under a spell put under by the hypnotist at the hen party.
And what was the nature of the spell? What did Kathy think she was?
Every now and again she would just burst into song as Madonna.
So how did you then fool the paper? Did you just phone them up?
Just phoned them up and told them, and...
They printed it.
they came out and did a photo shoot, the local paper.
Did it end up in any national paper?
Yeah, it ended up in most of the national papers.
Seriously?
Most?
Yep.
Was Kathy photographed? Was she in the paper looking Madonna-esque?
Yes, she was.
David, are you satisfied with your witness? Would you like to move on?
So what about Lee?
You found a peacock in your hotel bed.
Yes, I found a peacock in my hotel room. Yeah.
Did they have ornamental grounds?
They had some sort of ornamental grounds to a degree. They definitely had peacocks.
Did you hear the peacock?
I woke up in the morning. It was ground floor, and you know, like most blokes who sleep on their own hotels, it can get a bit whiffy, all right? So I opened the French doors that were in the room. I opened the French doors. So I go into the swimming pool, which is very near my room. I come back with the dressing gown on. I walk in, and there's a peacock in my room.
Yeah, did he do the thing with his tail?
He saw me, and he sort of went like that, and I think his tail went up a little bit, and then he sort of ran around a bit, and then he sort of got a bit flustered, and I tried to waft him out the door. Yeah. I was a bit panicking, because I know a peacock doesn't sound very threatening, but it's one of those things that, in your room, suddenly becomes terrifying.
So, now you've tried to waft the peacock out, and then you ring reception, Kathy answers.
Yes.
What do you say?
I said, this is a bit weird, but there's a peacock in my room. And she said, oh, yeah. They do that a lot, believe it or not. Right. And she came round. She sort of just literally sort of was more assertive than me.
She wafted it with a bit more gumption.
Just stop saying waft. It was a bit more masculine than that. I said waft once, and you haven't let it go, have you?
She used the pillow, made a few noises, and the peacock went out.
The peacock went out, and then she even shut the doors for me. I was like, I could have done that.
It was a takeover bid by the peacocks to distract Kathy. When she got back to reception, 50 peacocks. Yeah. This is our hotel now.
I just think... I just think a receptionist would phone someone else, another member of staff, to deal with.
It wasn't a big five-star hotel. It was a sort of... You know, I don't know what star it was, but it was a sort of... It was more casual, the hotel, than you're imagining.
No. Peacocks are in very posh places and very formal places.
Very rural places, generally.
No. It's not like... You don't farm peacocks.
Yes, you do. People do farm peacocks.
OK, yes. The English countryside is covered in massive flocks of peacocks.
No, but they do farm
peacocks. Peacock milk we endlessly drink. There's nothing more informal and laid back and basically hippie-ish than those hotels with peacocks milling around. In and out of the rooms, and the occasional panicky comedian won't join in, won't pal up with the peacock.
Say it, go on, I know you want to say it.
Tries to waft the
it
peacock. And the only member of staff in the hotel has to come and make noises with the pillow.
Do you know what?
And apologise to the peacock later and say, we won't let him stay here again. He's all stuck up.
So, we need an answer. David's team. Is Kathy John's unfortunate learner driver, Sarah's hypnotised hoaxer, or Lee's receptionist to the rescue?
Well, you see, if we take Kathy, though, as the core of this whole thing,
Yeah.
I think Kathy looks too alternative and cool to work in a small, anonymous hotel.
Do you know what I'd say to that, Frank? Have you ever noticed sometimes you're talking to the receptionist at a hotel and they seem one thing, and you see them in the local pub later that night, and they can be quite punky. Right, David, decision time. What are you going to say?
Bill, what do you think?
I would think that it could be the peacock rescue.
I can see her doing all the moves for Madonna. I can see her with 3 muscular black men behind her doing a synchronised dance.
So can she, by the look of it.
I think it's Sarah's. I think it's a local paper scam.
The local, that's what you're going for?
Yeah.
OK. Kathy, would you please reveal your true identity?
Hi, I'm Kathy, and together, Sarah and I filled the local papers with our fake hypnotism story.
Wow. It was in the national press, it went in the Star and the Express, but it was biggest news on the Shields Gazette, where it was front page news. There it is. Thank you very much, Kathy. Which brings us to our final round, Quickfire Lies, in which our panellists lie not only through their teeth but against the clock. First off is... it's Lee.
When I'm at home, I amuse myself by shaving only half my face and doing that thing where you have a conversation between 2 people.
What are the characters of the shaved Lee, unshaven Lee?
I'll often do a sailor because that suits the look of the longer beard.
Could we have a little bit of sailor?
Looks like you shaved off your beard off again.
Hang on, that doesn't make sense, because it doesn't. It looks like he's got the complete
No.
beard.
He has got the beard and he's talking to the man
To
who
the other person, yes.
Looks like you shaved off your beard off again.
Yeah, but the other person
The
looks like
little
he's...
boy looks up and goes, I couldn't help it, I had to, because I was feeling a bit hairy.
But that doesn't make any sense, because the other one looks like he's completely shaved his beard.
No, sorry. I've shaved half the beard.
Yes, I know.
The one with the beard is the sailor with the beard.
Looks like you've shaved off your...
Meaning
Look,
him.
half your beard off.
The other
to the
fella.
other one,
Yeah.
who's then sort of going, yes, I did. Yes, I did shave half it off. But it doesn't look like they've shaved half it off. It looks...
They've shaved it
looks
all
like
off.
they've shaved it all off.
You say that.
You
No,
should
you're wrong.
be
No.
going, I've shaved it all.
Wrong, David. Wrong. I'll do it again. Right. Man with half a beard.
Yeah.
You looks like you shaved...
No,
Wait,
the character you're playing is a man with a
let me finish.
Okay.
Looks like you shaved off your beard off again.
Okay.
Yes, I had to, but you should see the other side. Look, it's still there. And then the other fellow goes, I'm just as bad as you. Look, clean shaven. If you let the story finish, you know I'm using it up.
Why did you say half in the first remark?
You
Did you
didn't-
say it
you
looks
didn't.
like you
No,
shaved
you
your
didn't
beard
say
off
half.
again? Should be shave your whole beard off again? And he's going, yes, I know, but then let me show you more fully. Like you did.
I didn't say it like a red boy.
Coincidence, because I too am a cock.
You know what? The kids just laugh and clap.
Right, David, time for a decision.
Well, I think we think it's a lie, don't we?
I think so, yes.
Yeah.
Definitely a lie.
Saying it's a lie. OK. Lee, is it the truth or were you telling a lie?
It is, in fact, true.
Yes, This is true. Lee does amuse himself by shaving only half of his face and pretending to have a conversation between two people. John.
Possession.
Right, there's a box under your desk, John. Would you bring the box up, please?
This is the emergency kit that I keep in my car at all times.
Okay.
Well, not at all times, obviously. It's here. Lie! Next!
John, will you take it out of the box and put it on the desk there?
What would have been brilliant then if he'd have took his car out?
There is.
Can we investigate it?
Yes,
John,
I
do
want
it.
to, yes.
Spotty
I'd
mug.
quite like to. I'll be very careful with it.
Are you going to bring it back?
Yeah.
I'll be careful. There we go. Thank you.
Oh, I've never given another man my box before.
Okay.
I have, it's quite nice.
There's a mug, spotted mug.
Yeah, well spotted.
Yes, here's options, Belgian chocolate.
Bill, sorry, can you be careful with that? That's his mother's ashes.
Chocolatey ashes.
And here a little bottle of.
Some red wine?
Can I just say, this is like the most boring version of the generation.
Oh, the best ready, steady cook ever.
It's a sort of a post-nuclear deal or no deal.
Right, OK, so take us through why you've got these items.
Well, I'm on the road a lot, and I like food and alcohol. So I make sure I have some in case I have an unexpected overnight stay.
I love how seriously Bill and Frank are studying the product.
This has got a very curious marking on it. It's a circle and a pregnant woman and a line going across it. What's that got to do?
That suggests to me that they don't advise that pregnant women drink.
It's hardly hieroglyphics, Bill, is it?
Tell you what, if I found this in a car, I'd assume it was the flight recorder.
David, time to guess.
I think it's nonsense, so we have to say
Yeah.
it's nonsense?
Yeah.
You're all saying it's a lie?
Yeah.
OK.
Yeah.
John, were you telling the truth or were you telling a lie?
It is true.
And I should say, if you're thinking of compiling an emergency car kit of your own, both Would I Lie to You and the BBC would like to point out that other brands are available. And that noise signals time is up and it's the end of the show, and I can reveal that tonight's winners by a massive 7 points to 3, Lee's team. But, of course, it's not just a team game, and my individual liar of the week is Sarah Millican. Yes, Sarah Millican. Sarah hasn't lied so much since her first day on Loose Women when she told her co-hosts, honestly, I can't smell gin. Good night.